Africa Global Radio. Our story, our growth, our future.
Headlines across Africa.
Welcome to Headlines Across Africa for today, 22nd January 2024. I am Mary Ejapoma Kisi. In the headlines, assistant healthcare access for families in Kenya. African leaders criticize Israel's military campaign in Gaza, urge immediate end to conflict. And Nigeria Central Bank to hold policy meeting in February. A social enterprise in Kenya is aimed at assisting low-income families in accessing healthcare without financial burden. The organization, Benacare, offers essential healthcare training, covering tasks such as bed baths, administering medication, feeding, and monitoring blood pressure. According to the CEO, Nao Monari, what the organization has been doing for 5 years now is to lower the cost of healthcare for chronically ill patients and their families, and how they have been able to achieve that is by building a large network of healthcare workers and connecting them to patients' homes so that they can offer affordable clinical and supportive care at the comfort of the patient's own home. African leaders have condemned Israel's military campaign in Gaza, calling for an immediate end to the ongoing conflict that extremely affects civilians. The criticism was during a conference in Uganda hosted by the Non-Aligned Movement, NAM, a coalition of 120 states that do not align formally with any major power bloc. Expressing deep concern over the continuing mishap, President of the United Nations General Assembly, Dennis Francis, implored the movement to leverage its influence to bring a halt to the devastating violence, questioning how much more suffering the region could endure. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni, who is also set to assume the chairmanship of the Non-Aligned Movement, says the resistance fighters of Uganda are flabbergasted and look down with contempt at the philosophical, ideological, and strategic shallowness of some of the actors in the world, questioning and emphasizing the importance of prioritizing the freedom of the people. As the Gaza conflict persists, the movement finds itself at the forefront of international efforts to address the humanitarian crisis and advocate for a peaceful resolution. Nigeria's central bank will hold its next interest rate meeting in February, the first since last July. In a statement published, the Central Bank of Nigeria has hesitantly scheduled open a new tab of the Monetary Policy Committee (MMPC) for February 26 and 27, the first meeting under the new Governor Olayemi Cardoso. Investors are awaiting the committee's guidance on interest rates, with analysts divided on the likely direction. At its last meeting in July, the central bank chose a smaller than expected rate hike of 25 basis points. The schedule lists 6 MPC meetings for the year, including in the last weeks of March, May, July, September, and November. And that's our end headlines across Africa today, 22nd January 2024. We'll come your way tomorrow with more news right here on Africa Global Radio. I am Mary Ejapoma Kisi.
For this and more, check us out on africaglobalradio.com. On Facebook and YouTube, Africa Global Radio. On Twitter and Instagram, AF Global Radio.